Hello. Today we will discuss on the topic foreign direct investment in retail business. To start with, what is FDI? Foreign direct investment is a category of cross-border investment in which an investor resident in one economy establish a lasting interest in and a significant degree of influence over an enterprise resident in another economy. Now we will discuss about the advantages of FDI in retail. FDI in retail would lead to the development of farm infrastructure, employment opportunities, technical know-how to set up efficient supply chains. Retail landscape will move to organized form from the unorganized, and finally the consumer get more options to shop from giant retailers which could act as models of development in India. Next we will discuss about the types of FDI. There are four types of FDI according to Angel One investors. The first one is the horizontal FDI. So this is the most common type of an FDI is horizontal FDI, which primarily revolves around investing funds in a foreign company belonging to the same industry as that owned or operated by the FDI investor. A company invests in another company located in a different country wherein both the companies are producing the similar goods. For example, assuming that H&M may invest in or purchase the Indian company Fab India, which also produces similar products as H&M does, since both the companies belong to the same industry of merchandise and apparel, the FDI is classified as horizontal FDI. The second one is vertical FDI. A vertical FDI occurs when an investment is made within a typical supply chain in a company which may or may not necessarily belong to the same industry. As such, when vertical FDI happens, a business invests in an overseas firm which may supply or sell products. The vertical FDIs are further classified as two: backward vertical integrations and forward vertical integration. The first one, backward vertical integration. The investing firm purchases a supplier in the supply chain. This type of an FDI is known as backward vertical integration. For instance, the Swiss coffee producer Nescafe may invest in coffee plantation in countries such as Brazil, Colombia, Vietnam, etc. The second one is forward vertical integration. Occurs when a company invests in another foreign company which is ranked higher in the supply chain. For instance, a coffee company in India may wish to invest in a French grocery brand. The third type of an FDI is a conglomerate FDI. When investments are made in two completely different companies of entirely different industries, the transaction is known as conglomerate FDI. As such, the FDI is not linked directly to the investor business. For example, assuming that the US retailer Walmart may invest in Hindustan Motors, the Indian automobile manufacturer. The last one is the platform FDI. A business expands into a foreign country, but the products manufactured or exported to the another third country. For instance, the French perfume brand Chanel set up a manufacturing plant in the US and export products to other countries in America, Asia and other parts of Europe. Next we will discuss on the two routes available in FDI: automatic route and government route. Automatic route means the entry route through which investment by a person resident outside India does not require the prior approval of the Reserve Bank of India or the central government. Government route is the entry route through which the investment by a person resident outside India requires prior government approval, and foreign investment received under this route shall be in accordance with the conditions stipulated by the government in its approval. The next thing which we will discuss is FDI in different retail formats: single brand retail or exclusive brand retail, multi-brand retail trading, wholesale cash and carry, and e-tailing. The first one is FDI in single brand retail or exclusive brand retail. In Jan 2006, the announcement by Government of India permitted foreign companies to own up 51% of FDI in single brand retail according to Department of Industry Policy and Promotion DIPP report 2010. Since then, a total of 94 proposals have been received till May 2010, of which 57 proposals were approved by Department of Industry Policy and Promotions DIPP on 2010. Many have already entered the Indian market, and other international players are taking up the alternative routes to enter into Indian retail market. India continues to be one of the most attractive countries among the global retailers. The government announced on 24th of November 2011 that single brand retailers can own up to 100% FDI in single brand retail from the previous cap of 51%. Example, companies like Apple, IKEA, etc. The second one which we will discuss is FDI in multi-brand retail trading. The FDI in multi-brand retail trading was restricted to 49% until 2011, and 24th November 2011, Indian government announced retail reforms for multi-brand retail trading by permitting 51% of FDI in multi-brand retail in parliament, but due to the pressure from the opposition, the Indian government placed the retail reforms on hold till it reached a consensus. Again, the FDI issues were reopened in the parliament and the government won the majority of votes both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha on 5th December 2012 and 7th December 2012 respectively. Finally, the government of India approved 51% of FDI in multi-brand retail trading in India under the government route in the year 2012 by Department of Industry Policy and Promotion DIPP report 2012. Few conditions levied by the government of India are: the multi-brand retailers should source nearly a third of their goods from small and medium-sized Indian suppliers having capital investment of less than $1 million. A minimum investment of $100 million is required, and half of that should be invested in back-end infrastructure like cold chains, refrigerations and transportation, packing, sorting and processing to reduce the losses from post-harvest. Examples: Walmart and Tesco, etc. The third one is FDI in cash and carry wholesale trading. The concept of cash and carry wholesale trading was formally notified in the FDI policy in the year 1997, and 100% foreign investment was permitted therein with prior approval of the government. After a period of almost 10 years, cash and carry wholesale trading was liberalized and brought under the automatic route in 2006 without any conditions and restrictions. In 2010, the government sought to specifically define the scope of activities permissible under cash and carry wholesale trading as a sale of goods or merchandise to the retailers, industrial, commercial, institutional or other professional business users or to other wholesalers and related subordinated service providers. Examples like Metro, ShopRite, Carrefour, Wholesale Cash and Carry and Sam's Club. The fourth and the last one is FDI in e-commerce. FDI up to 100% under automatic route is permitted in business to business e-commerce. No FDI is permitted in business to consumer B2C e-commerce. However, FDI in B2C e-commerce is permitted under certain circumstances. A manufacturer is permitted to sell its products manufactured in India through e-commerce retail. A single brand retail trading entity operating through brick and mortar store is permitted to undertake retail trading through e-commerce. An Indian manufacturer is permitted to sell its own single brand products through e-commerce retail. Indian manufacturer would be the investee company, which is the owner of the Indian brand and which manufactures in India in terms of value at least 70% of its products in-house and sources at most 30% from the Indian manufacturers. Example: Alibaba B2B, Amazon B2C, etc. With this, let me conclude this session on FDI in retail business. Thank you for your patient listening.